My name is Elda Shanika Edwards, and today I have the topic before me of speaking with four beautiful women about what it was like to be a teen during their time period and what it's like to be a teen in my time period. They will share with us their wise words of wisdoms, their experiences with their mothers, and also give us a little insight onto what we should do as teens in order to live the most prosperous life. Here with me today to share a few words of encouragement and their experiences on being a teen, I have with me Patricia Edwards, Venita Lewis, Marcia Walker, and Pastor Intu Rogers. So the first question before me is to just get an insight to these beautiful women and to ask them, what was it like being a teen when you were growing up? What was the discipline that you faced compared to the discipline that we face today? Patricia?
Growing up with all 6 sisters of us, I'm the baby of the family, the girls. I didn't get much punishment, but based on what was instilled in my older sisters, I was able to move on with that type of discipline that they experienced.
And what do you think the discipline for the teens of today is?
In America?
In America?
Well, basically, I don't think there's any punishment. There needs to be more punishment because sending a child to their room where they have their phones, cable is no type of punishment. Nothing wrong with spanking a child, but not to the point where you will abuse them.
Okay, thank you, Patricia, for sharing that with us. Mrs. Lewis, I'd like to ask you, what was your mother's discipline for you when you were a child? Let's say she told you to go somewhere and you didn't do it right away. What would the discipline be for you?
She gave you a warning first. After that 3-time warning, you know what you're gonna get. A good spanking.
Okay. Being a mom of 5 children, what do you instill the same sort of punishment for your children?
Sure I do. They have to listen, and if they don't listen, they have to leave. They don't stay with me. I used to listen to my mother, so they have to listen to me. Right in my house, I have a lot of things that they have to obey.
A lot of rules. Thank you, Mrs. Lewis, for sharing that. Mrs. Walker, can you please tell me what your insight as to what it was like being a teen growing up? What do you remember was, I wouldn't say harshest, but the hardest punishment for you as a child?
My sisters can attest to, I was the rebel of the family. I was always disobedient. I'm always riding my bike and not doing what the chores that I was assigned. So I'm always getting a beating, and it's always a beating for me. Growing up, and I've become an adult now, and I've appreciated the way how my mother grew me up. My mom was a strict disciplinarian, and I am proud to say today that I thank her for how she grew me up. The disciplinary stuff that I got made me the person who I am today, and it helped me to grow my 4 sons by myself, and I thank God that neither one of the 4 is in jail, so I appreciate what my mother did for me.
Okay, thank you. Pastor Rogers, can you please just give me an insight as to what was discipline like for you as a child, and do you do the same discipline to your children as well?
To me as a child is that there was not need for much discipline. Because when you grow up in that time, it's either when your parents say to do something, you don't question it. It's not like they're going to tell you walk over a hill. But you always have that respect for your parent. That if your parents say that you should do something, there's hardly any question to it, you do it. However, if for some reason you think you're too grown and you can't listen to them, then there's where spanking comes in. And it's just not spanking. It's like so many things are taken away from you. At that time, you didn't have much to be taken away. So you really appreciated it when they said, you can't watch any television. Sometimes there was no room to go to because you shared your room with so many other siblings. So the thing about it is that we always listen. We are a listening generation. Somewhere along the line, we lose that connect, where parents can't just speak to kids and have them do what they want them to do.
Well, thank you, Pastor Rogers, for sharing that with us. I also wanted to ask the question of what do you think is the issue with our teens today? Because from what I'm hearing from you beautiful ladies is that as a child, you never questioned what your mother said. As per me, sometimes I do question the advice that is given to me now as an adult. When I was a child, that didn't stand. But what do you think is wrong with the teens of today? Mrs. Edwards, what do you think is wrong with the teens of today?